Hi everybody, I'm Scott Bino, Vice President of Marketing for North America here at Crawford & Company. And today on Crawford Chat, I'm very happy to welcome Carissa Harrington, who is the AVP Membership Services and Recruiting at Contractor Connection. Carissa, thank you so much for being here.
You are most welcome.
So Carissa, I'm going to start off with hopefully an easy question.
Okay.
Maybe not, depends on how you answer it, how you choose to answer it. Carissa, what is your job? What do you do at Contractor Connection?
Depends on what day you ask me. I think I do a little bit of everything. But if I had to tell you what my job title is and what that supports, membership services and recruiting is about compliance, adherence, making sure that the contractors that are coming into the network with Contractor Connection are compliant and meeting our contractual obligations with our network client partners.
That's great. And so let's talk a little bit about your role and what you do. So as I understand it, some of your previous history has been in designing and developing training programs to a wide variety of audiences. So talk about those early experiences in your career.
Okay.
And how that sort of maybe you've brought forward to today and how that sort of helped your approach to leadership in your role today.
Okay. I started out at a company, I won't say the name, but the company prior to me working here, I was doing instructional system design. They actually sent me to school to do the course. I took the course at UNF and I found that I was very fascinated to be able to build training content from beginning to end. I had to develop, deliver, and implement that training. And I found it to be very resourceful and helpful for me in my journey because I got an opportunity to really engage with what I called at that time big wigs, so I was a frontline person coming into a leadership role, and I had the ability to be able to deliver training that was necessary for us to continue to keep the organization moving. In that, I found my love for people and partnerships and building those relationships and being able to connect with people and having people have those aha moments were very exciting for me. I didn't know how much I enjoyed it until I started doing a lot of our, what we would call our annual enrollment training. So I started doing annual enrollment training for the organization as well. So whenever we enroll in our benefits, yearly, we would have an annual enrollment training to make sure that everybody was aware of what those new benefits were, what they encompassed. And so whenever we would have a class of individuals to come in that needed to actually be on the floor to do it, I was the person that was training those individuals, getting them ready to get out on the floor and handle those phone calls for the organization. So it was enlightening for me, and I found that it was also a challenge as well, because talking in front of people and engaging at that level is not something I necessarily did a lot of, but it kind of took me out of my shell.
That's great, and I want to talk a little bit about how you came into Contractor Connection, right? So, and I know a little bit about your past, and we've talked about it. It was a bit of a pivot, right? Sort of coming into Contractor Connection. So, and for a lot of people during their career, when they have that pivot or they have that change, it can be challenging.
Yes.
What has kept you sort of resilient and motivated, or what kept you resilient and motivated at that time to sort of come into something new? And how has that sort of brought you to this point today?
The newness of Contractor Connection was basically I traded one set of benefits for another, right? So I was in the insurance industry in terms of medical, and then I moved over to managed repair space with Contractor Connection. I will tell you that it was different. It was an unfamiliar territory. It was something I was not accustomed to. But I think one of the things that really got me interested in Contractor Connection was really our core value, and being able to restore and enhance lives, businesses, and communities. To actually see that played out as a member of Contractor Connection, I think really kind of helped to catapult me to staying here longer than expected. I'll be quite transparent. When I started at Contractor Connection, I had no idea that I would be here for the time frame that I have been here, 16 years of this organization. But it's because of what we stand for and being able to restore those homeowners and get them back to pre-loss condition. So I think it's valuable.
Let's talk about that, right? So 16 years is a long time, and,
Yes.
and you've seen a lot, and I know you've moved through a lot of roles in the organization. So talk to me about how you've kind of moved through and evolved in this organization. What's the most rewarding part of that, looking back on the past 16 years?
I think the most rewarding part is being able to give back. right? Being able to be in a role that allows you to serve, because that's really what it's about. Any leadership role is about serving others and the needs of others. So being able to reach back and have and meet individuals that are the same as me when I came into this organization, unknowing, not knowing what the career path was going to be because the market was a little crazy at the time. It is being able to mentor different employees at different levels and help them grow within the organization. So I find that to be extremely rewarding. It's actually one of the most rewarding parts of what I do, is being able to see other people grow and help them be able to move through what their journeys are here at Contractor Connection, or even outside of Contractor Connection, because sometimes Contractor Connection may be a stepping stone to something else that they want to do. So to be able to partner with them and have them trust me with that, very rewarding.
And that's a nice transition to my next question for you. You know, being in a leadership position, you move into sort of the strategic oversight role, and you know, really looking at you know, how to position the organization in a certain way through that sort of alignment with the vision of the organization, but then also making sure that your teams are motivated and sort of understanding what that vision is, right? How do you balance the strategic side of leadership, but then also staying connected to the day-to-day experiences of your team?
It's exactly what you just said, staying connected to the day-to-day of what's happening with the team, being present. It's one thing to be a leader and lead from the top, but it's another leader when you embed yourself into the practices and the business model of what's happening at the organization and being able to articulate that with your team. So letting them know what the strategic requirements are and what it is that we're trying to achieve, and then getting in there with them and doing the work with them. It is about being present. It's about not micromanaging, giving people empowerment and autonomy to be able to move things forward as they need to move them forward, and then just kind of gently asserting yourself and watching it blossom. So I would have to say really just staying engaged in what's happening and letting your team know that they're not in it alone, that we're in it together.
And last question for you. Looking back on the past 16 years and thinking about your journey, and if you were to speak to somebody just starting out in Contractor Connection today or in this industry that has aspirations to become somebody like you and to have a leadership role, what advice would you give them?
Stay out of the foolishness. like really. Stay out of the foolishness. Stay focused on what it is that you want to do, and make sure that you are networking with different people within different organizational structures within the operations, and make sure that you share what your aspirations are and connect with somebody so that you can link with them to help you get where it is that you want to go. I say, again, you know, I started off with stay out of the foolishness. It's true. Stay out of the foolishness, because a lot of times you have individuals that may just be passing through. You have some people that may not even see it as a career. It's just, I'm just here to do a job. I'm going to work 8 to 5 and I'm out of here. But then you have some other people that there are some things that they really want to do. So to be able to partner with them and help them get there, it's just really just staying on the grind, making sure that you keep positive reinforcements when engaging with those individuals, and just let them know where your journey began and letting them know that they can get there, and teaching them what they need to do in order to achieve it.
I think that's great advice. And as I've done these chats and talked with folks, one thing that is consistent is the inconsistency of people's path, right? Like everybody kind of has a different story. And I think you're absolutely right. Is focus on what your goals are, focus on yourself. Don't worry about the noise. Don't worry about the people around you, because ultimately you are in control of your career, right? And you sort of take ownership over that. So I think that's great advice. That's great advice. Krista, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining me today on Crawford Chat. Thank you to everybody watching this episode of Crawford Chat, and be sure to stay tuned for future episodes. Do you drink coffee or tea?
Neither.
Oh my gosh, really?
Really.
Okay,
I'm
well,
a water drinker.
all right, next question. Who is your childhood celebrity crush? Or it could be current day too. I mean, up to you.
Current day, Idris Elba.
Well, my wife would answer the same. Anything he's in, it doesn't matter.
That's
it's
all
like
right.
we're watching an Idris Elba
Give me
movie.
Idris.
Oh yeah. Are you feeling good?
I'm feeling
loose?
good.
Like
I'm feeling good. I'm getting loose. I
the-
was already
is it-
getting there just
is
with
it-
our regular conversation
Yeah,
too.
is
So
the
thank
neck
you.
all loose and the shoulders?
Yeah,
Yeah, because if your boss was a dessert, what dessert would they be?
Really?
Yeah. we can cut those. First thing that comes to mind.
What is the first thing that comes to mind? Carrot cake.
Carrot cake. You don't have to say why. We can leave it at carrot cake. Carrot cake. I like carrot cake. So.
Yeah, it has a lot in it, and
I
so
think
does my boss.
I think. If you had a warning label, what would it say? This is really going to get a glimpse into you.
If my face doesn't say it, my mouth will.
That's a good one. Okay, that's a good one. Thank you. That's it.
Really quick. That's it.
That's it. Did it. You were awesome. That was great.
I can go eat something now. I need a snack. Anybody got a snack?